Welcome guys, and welcome to this little overview for Black Box Analog Design's HG-2 from Brainworks. The HG-2 is a fantastic little saturation unit or color box, and has the remarkable ability to just make everything sound fantastic that you put through this. It really is a great sounding little unit. I use this consistently in so many projects these days. The primary reason for me reaching for this normally is on the master bus or on a mix bus as a little bit of saturation for the overall mix, or in mastering situations as well. But I have actually used this plenty on single channel material quite often as well. It can do a great job on bass or a drum bus or whatever as well. You can really get some great tones out of this. We're going to take a look at the controls. It seems fairly straightforward, but it does have a slightly unusual circuit that we're going to just look at how the signal flow for the whole plugin, which I believe, if you understand that, it makes it a little bit easier to dial in the settings the way you want. So we'll just start from here and work our way through the plugin. This has two transformers in this unit, as well as a parallel saturation circuit with two tubes built into it. The way these work is you have your input this side, you have an on and off switch over here, which is basically just the bypass. As it comes into the plugin, it's split into two parallel circuits. You have the saturation circuit, which is the two 12AX7 tubes. You can enable the parallel saturation circuit by hitting this in-out button over here, and then the saturation. This is not it's not a gain. It's a dry-wet dial for the amount of saturation that you'd be mixing back into the primary circuit for the plugin. So this would give you the amount of saturation, and then you have this alt tube which switches between the two tubes that are available in this circuit. The second one, when this is enabled, is a little bit harsher sounding, slightly grittier sounding tube, and the other one is a little bit more smooth. We can take a quick listen to what this is doing. So that dials in the amount of saturation. So you can hear there's a subtle difference, a little bit more bite when you dial in that second tube. This saturation circuit as well, it has sort of like a little tilt EQ setup here that you can tilt it to lows or highs as well. Take a listen to that as well. That's with a focus on the lows. Flat. And high. So that is with full mix on that saturation circuit as well. If we dial that back, we can just be accentuating the highs with distortion by using the saturation circuit, or switch back to the lows, whatever you want. Okay, so once this is mixed back into our primary circuit, or the main circuit for the two transformers, we then come across the gain for the Pentode and the Triode transformers here. The Pentode is primarily dealing with even harmonics, so it's a little bit more sort of pleasant sounding, rounded distortion that it adds to your source material. The Triode is primarily uneven harmonics, so pushing that kind of adds a little harder edge to it as well. These run in series, so you can add in your Pentode and dial in the Triode as well. Then post saturation, you have this air band that you can add. This turns it on and off, and the amount of air. This is a post saturation EQ boost at around 10 kilohertz that just adds in a little bit of sparkle and shine once you've actually added in your effect. You can hear that, just that little bit of breath on top of the sound, the audio. Then you have another bypass. That'll bypass the effect as well. And the output, obviously that's self-explanatory, that you can just balance your output there. Now I want to just take a look at the top section, and these are some features that you're seeing a lot in the new Brainworks stuff. At the top with the mix, a lot of the new compressors and stuff will have this mix dials and stuff up at the top. This one's a little bit different, and you have this calibration dial, which is in the hardware. It's an internal setting in the hardware that you can set the unit to be slightly darker in sound or brighter in sound. It is quite subtle, but you have that setting nonetheless. Now, the most useful one up at the top here for me is this density dial. This is a really nice touch. What this does is it will increase the gain or decrease the gain for the Pentode and Triodes simultaneously, whilst applying a compensation to the output or the output gain. So what this does will actually end up thickening the sound a lot more, but without actually changing the output gain at all. We can take a listen to that quickly. Yeah, so that's super handy. That's nice because it just makes setting it, once you've got your initial settings in here, you can just adjust them at the same time by using the density dial. So it's not the same as the mix dial that we have here. The mix is a dry-wet balance between the dry signal and the affected signal. You can mix between the original signal and mix in the distortion amount as well. And then lastly, we have the metering. You have an average meter and a peak meter. That allows you to see what you're doing. And then as with all Brainworks plugins as well, dialing in your settings, you can hold down the shift key to make fine adjustments like such. That is without the shift key, and with the shift key on. And then also holding down I'm on a Mac, so the command key will reset any settings that you've changed to their initial values. Great, so that's it for the Black Box Analog Designs HG-2. I highly recommend you check this plugin out. It's a great sounding tool and definitely has a spot in everybody's plugin collection, no matter what genre you are working on. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.